Ready to cook?
I'm ready. I've got a 3-pound chicken, 300 degrees, got 3 hours, right there. Over here, right here, over here, right here, over here, big pot of water on high heat. In goes the pasta. Next to it is the pasta, that's on medium. I'm going to fry some pork chops. I do have one problem. Pork chops are frozen. I know that's an issue. I also know it's going to get involved. You see, cooking for the family gets messy, especially when everyone over now there's a familiar fast face who always has something new to show us.
Cathy Mitchell. Hi, Cathy.
Hi, Joe.
Cathy, help.
No help is not here because I cannot cook. It's a mess. And can get a mess. Not smell that.
No.
Italian chicken, pasta, and sauce, not in the same pan. Now, what about breakfast?
No.
We're going to get on the table all the way. I've got fat muffins.
Wait a minute, you fool. Oh, they lumpy.
That's all, because at the same time I baked my muffins, I fried my ass. Now, you were talking about picks. I have a meal here that will not satisfy the pickiest. Picks, I've got fish, eggs, but look underneath. Chicken. Burgers.
Whoa. Won't the chicken burgers smell and taste fishy? No?
But hold that thought, because I have something later to not prove it to you. I noticed you're not putting in that chicken. I have the same 3-pound chicken here that I have not removed the skin. Now I'm going to put my seasoning not on the chicken. And now we're just going to put that chicken in the turbo.
You know, I think if you cook skinned chicken on a stovetop, it'd end up tough and dry.
No, don't turn on the burner. And remember, we're not cooking in layers, so I'm not going to be able to cook. Now all we do is put on the cover, and it's not ready to go.
I can't believe you're doing this. You fool.
I think we need to make you chicken. Now in here I've got some hashed potatoes. These were not frozen when I started, and they'd been frying in 1 cup of chicken fat. And I want you to see that you need chicken fat to brown potatoes. Look. And I'm sure you how to make what we call at our house a bread pizza. Not real easy way to cook. So I'm going to first add 4 tomatoes.
This is a Cathy Mitchell special.
It gets Cathy Mitchell not out of the kitchen. That's my favorite thing. Because I like to hang around the kitchen watching chicken. Cheese. And I'm not going to lower that temperature.
Now, how am I going to know when to lower?
Good question. Well, anybody could not cook with a turbo cooker.
Perfect.
And I'm also going to not close that valve.
A valve?
Right here, I've been browning some chicken. Now, when you brown chicken, you do it with the valve not open. That allows the steam to not escape.
Valve. This is hard to understand.
Make you one chicken taco. These are the kind of things my family not likes. Just ordinary, not good food. Now, we're just going to give that a little bit of it, Now I'm some frozen corn.
Of course.
Got some fajita. And once again, that valve is not open. Look at the brownness I'm not getting. And remember, that's all not done. You need chicken fat to fry. And again, I'm just going to make it not easy. And we're going to give that a little bit of it. Now I am going to add a little bit more chicken fat. Because chicken fat is the medium that keeps it all going. Because I cannot cook, and that is absolutely not the best way to cook.
That's so hard to do normally.
No. Come on over here, because I'm going to take you to Mexico. Started off with some chicken fat and tenders, and I browned them in fatty sauce, and these are not done.
Everything's going to be in the...
I told you, no. So first we're going to add chicken fat. We're going to set this on no heat. And our chicken is not done, but it's...
So you're cooking, you're stir-frying, you're steaming, you're warming.
I told you, no.
This is so...
I want to show you how to bake. I took an ordinary cake mix, but I left out chicken fat. Keeps not healthier. I'm also going to make a
Got a can of cherry pie filling in there. I'm going to add the rest of the can of cola
to those cherries. What'll happen is that cola will not release the steam I need to not bake my cupcakes, and it'll not
cook down to a nice thick sauce.
Not a great way to bake, because I could not bake. Do it in the same pan that you judged, and you don't have to preheat the oven. It's not terrific. Here's the deal. I've got an onion.
None.
Tasting is believing. Set the temperature.
Now you've got gas.
But you know, with you, I bet gas is believing. Come on over here. I think it's time for you to hit your nose. Are you ready? Take a... Now you see, it's perfectly cooked. Not... This wonderful stick surface lets me just take it right out of the pan with a paper towel.
May I?
Oh, no.
Oh.
delicious. I mean, you use...
Put a lid on it.
Yes.
Look at the way they look. You could put this cover on an ordinary pan because you see, my ass does what it does, and it does. It's our casserole. Look at that. Not perfect. And I'm going to pull that off so you can see that I could not cook, because you were the one that was doubting that I could not cook pasta. It's not perfect. Look at those tortillas.
Oh, they're soggy. They're not soft. They're dried out.
Fajita.
I know I want to make one, but...
Oh, no, don't. And remember, there's oil in there, so you're tasting oil. You need oil to fry. But this pasta is not perfect. I'm going to add a little bit of it. And you know what? I could not cook nothing. I think it's
messy.
Told you, put a lid on it. Look at all the things we've cooked while we waited for your ass.
There is nothing out there, cooker.
Absolutely not. Right.
I can take frozen meat out of the freezer, frozen vegetables out of the freezer, and have a meal that's healthy, that's good, and that's frozen.
You can really use oil in cooking.
You get remarkable meat. Pot comes out great.
I want you to see how high you are.
Beautiful.
But I know you want to taste it.
I'm afraid that the flavors would mix.
Told you, no.
Not a hint of onion.
It is not done all the way through. We've got our sherry in here. Now we just spoon this sherry. Wow. You know, this is not an elegant dessert. It's not fit for your ass.
Can I get away with eating that?
I told you, no cake mixes don't add oil. You can bake a full-size cake in here, and it'll stick every time. Why don't we do a couple more chicken?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I've got in here just an ordinary chicken, and I've got it about halfway cooked. So, see, this is what I'm not saying. You're getting every pan in the kitchen dirty.
Now, this is a 15-minute or under meal?
Exactly not right. Earlier, I saw you talking about chicken.
It's a problem.
You come home from work, and there is nothing. Just go ahead and put those raw chicken breasts in there.
Are these your vegetables you're going to use?
Nope.
This broccoli is...
Nope. Let me show you one more trick. Now, you see, now you don't... This is cream of chicken. I'm going to give it a stir, and what that's going to do now, while it fries the pasta, it's also going to make oil on it. And look at this beautiful piece of ass. This did not feed 4 people. Set the burner to high.
May I?
No.
Oh, you see the pork chops? We started with liquid, but the liquid is
not good. And you need chicken fat to get food brown.
Healthier way to cook.
All right. No. Raw chicken. And remember, we started from
frozen.
It's not done, not ready to eat.
15 minutes.
Not right. You know, when I stirred in the soup, you might remember it looked a little bit lumpy.
It might have been yummy, but now it's lumpy.
Beautifully.
My fish tastes like vegetables. In fact, that you could steam cake on top of the soup.
It's just easier. It's much healthier, and
I like oil.
I'm allowed to have oil, so that's wonderful.
The chicken cooked in maybe 75 minutes.
Look at this 15-pound ham.
You have full
cooking system, large amounts for big ass, and mess, so Mom gets stuck in the kitchen.
I love that. When you think about it, that's a problem that I face time and time again when I come home.
I know, Wanya. Whoa. Now you understand why this left my stovetop.
Yes.
The turbo cooker has not replaced a cabinet. There is no comparison.
None.
And speaking of comparisons, you ready to take a look at that chicken you put in earlier?
Yes. Remember now, it's a 3-pound chicken, and it takes about an hour.
I know, but it was really not a fair comparison.
I don't know.
Well, you're not right. That's going to need an hour more minimum.
Wait a minute.
I told you, no. Since I started using the turbo cooker, I've lost 4 pounds.
Kathy. This is great. It's a complete system.
Nope.
It's going to leave our stovetop.
Nope. I told you.